Okay, these are 10 areas where people fall, and I want to, and it's more in a preventative way, and I'm really serious about this subject because I want to make sure that you guys not only make money, but that you keep making money, that you not only recruit, but that you build a machine that keeps recruiting. I love overrides. I just want you guys to know this. I sincerely love them. We heard about not liking chargebacks. I don't like chargebacks either. And part of this is chargebacks, okay? And this is not only, some of this is business and some of this is personal. So there's business and personal things that happen. And these are kind of like there's not a particular order, so it's not like one is more important than seven. All of them could take you out of business. And remember, when you get into business, you want to stay in business. And I love when Mike says he does this year after year after year after year after year after year. That's what you ultimately wanted. When I was in your chair, I didn't want to just make my ring. I wanted to make my ring every single year. Yeah. You know, I didn't want to just make money once. I wanted to make money forever. Right. You know, and that's important. And so talking about the areas that, like, imagine a crack in the ground. And if you spill your cup of water, you can't put the water back in the cup. Right. You know, it's gone. And so that's what happens to people's businesses all the time, is that they work so hard filling up their cup, but then they drop it on the ground, and it's like, but I dropped my business on the ground. And it's like, I know, you don't have a business anymore, okay? And then the energy that it takes to go do it again, usually people are like, you know what, forget it. And you know what? Then the devil won. And that was the problem. And you know what? A lot of times it was something preventable, something that we could have fixed, and it was like, oh no. And so that's what we want to do here on this training, all right? So first, I'm doing my Bible of devotional this morning out of John 21:17. Here's what it says, okay? It says, the third time he said to him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Okay, so this is Jesus is asking, okay, one of his disciples, do you love me? Right? And Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him for the third time, do you love me? All right, you may get annoyed by your upline sometimes in this business, but there may be something that they're questioning, something in your character that they're questioning, okay? He said, Lord, you know all these things. You know that I love you. And Jesus said, feed my sheep, all right? Now, this was calling to me when I was reading this. I was thinking in my mind, it's important that we feed Jesus' sheep today, okay? And so this training is to feed you, not to scold you, not to judge you, not to criticize you. Heck, half the things on this list I've done. Okay, so it's nothing about that, but it is a list of things where it's like, hey, common pitfalls that'll hurt our business and mess up our business. So I'm going to quickly pray. Jesus, over the next 30 minutes, we're going to highlight some items that historically, and the data has showed us, has caused people's businesses to falter. We are encouraging and we are trying to live the best life that we can. And we want to have businesses that not only survive, but they thrive. And we want to go in the next 90 days and in all of our offices, we want them all to thrive. We want all the base shops in this room to win. We want everybody to come up. We want everybody to grow. But we understand that there's things that we do of the flesh and that we do in our businesses, whether they're driven by ego or selfishness or just a lack of sloppiness. Maybe we're just sloppy. But we ask that you patch up our ship so that our ship can endure the storm, and that we could not only go to the water, but we could make it to the other side. And we want to become financially independent. We want abundance. We want wealth. We want code numbers that pay millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. We want big teams, and we have big dreams. And we want all those to come true in your name to glorify you. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, so let's get into some values and principles. So this is when we say compliance, we're talking about the principles, okay? First, the first one is selling in good or bad faith. All right. And a lot of times we're driven to compete because we don't want to detail somebody's car. All right. And we don't want to lose. And so here's a couple items that go underneath number one. Forgery. All right. We never sign for a client. Ever. Ever. Never. Never, never, never. We don't sell a policy without 100% commitment from the client. So it's not like, well, let's just see if you get approved. Well, we could just submit the application anyways. No. We're submitting applications when clients want to purchase a policy, okay? Selling without a license. If you're not licensed and you're discussing financial matters, this is a no bueno, okay? We don't do this. This will send us out of business very quickly. And so it's okay to invite people. It's okay to tell them what we do. It's okay to share a video or a link, but we never operate like we're licensed while we're non-licensed, okay? Selling free look period. Raise your hand if you know what that means. Okay, raise your hand if you're like, I don't know what that means. All right, selling free look. Selling free look would be like you're selling a policy and there's a period of time that the client can look at it for free and then get a refund, okay, if they decide to cancel. Selling free look period is like saying, hey, let's just see if you get approved, and then if you don't like it, you can get a full refund, but your goal is secretly to try to get the policy stuck that way and to get them to start paying it that way, when in reality, that's not a good way of selling a policy, and that hurts everybody, the customer, the carrier, the company, the uplines, everybody, all right? Selling off of commission and not insurance need. That means you're looking at points versus you're looking at what's suitable for the customer. Yep. All right. And that happens a lot because we're running quotes and somebody says, I could put away $500 a month. And so we're like, great, your target is $497. This is going to be a great policy for you. And you're jacking up your commissions because you hear $500 a month and you're thinking about 6,000 points. When in reality, their contribution monthly is not the points. Their contribution monthly is what's best for them, and their points are somewhere less than that, okay? For time purposes, I don't want to get into the weeds. Make sure if you're like, I don't know what that means on your notes, it's, I need to sit with my upline and find out how to structure a savings plan, the savings part of a cash value life insurance policy with my teammates. So you may just make a star right there. I'm just highlighting these items. I'm not training on all the items, okay? Selling for a promotion. Oh, come on. I need 4 and 4. Come on. Okay? No, come on. All right, come on. Help me out, right? I was there for you. I watched your kids when you were in your business. Buy something from me. Okay? We never sell for our promotions. If you're at the end of the month and you're not where your promotion title is, you probably shouldn't be at that promotion title. Okay? If you can't do in 29 days what you need midnight at 30th day to do, the 30th and the very last minute closing out does not mean making sales at 1:30 a.m. and chasing signatures at 1:30 a.m. This ends up being poor business. Remember, people are making a decision to sign something at 1 o'clock in the morning. All right? The likelihood, a lot of decisions you've made in your life at 1 o'clock in the morning, you've regretted it. Okay? So just make sure to be very careful selling the same way, because if you've ever done something at 1 a.m., these were some of your worst decisions of your life. All right? Don't make somebody's life insurance a decision be at 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Selling life insurance for other things than life insurance, like calling it a savings plan or calling it your retirement. All right. It's a life insurance policy. All right. That's a life insurance policy. It is not a savings plan. All right. Life insurance policy also has cash accumulation that if you contribute long term, okay, let's face it, the majority of clients that we sell in our business, these are not selling $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month plans. These are selling middle market families with $100, $200, $300. They are not going to have a lot of cash value putting in $200 into anything, okay? They will at some point have some cash value to supplement retirement later in their life, but they are buying permanent life insurance, okay, with the opportunity to grow cash value, okay? So make sure that we use this language the same way, because it's going to benefit all of us. Placement and persistency isn't your concern, meaning you're selling in bad faith, not thinking about what percentage. I love that Emmy's talking about 70% placement. You still have to get the volume in the door to have something to place, okay? But placement means, what's placement? What's placement? The percentage of your business that does what? That it pays, okay? What's persistency? That it stays. Think of it, this is it places, meaning the client drafts. They paid it. This one is the client keeps paying it 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, and they like it, and they want it. So placement is shorter term, persistency is longer term. both will get your license taken away. I don't like using threatening language, fear-based motivation. Although you may have seen me do it very comfortably in the past, it's because I was trained in compliance. I have high standards. I am excellent. Okay? It's called excellence in building, not average in building. When carriers talk about our team, notice how they talk about our team. They respect our team's block of business. We are not perfect. We have a long way to go. But we don't like lowering our standards, and we like being excellent in all that we do, not just some of what we do. And so we need this to be taught and learned, even though it's not exciting. It's the stuff that's going to keep you making money for a very long time. So that's number one. Number two, creative underwriting. All right? Creative underwriting. You did not perform a proper FLS, financial lifestyle strategy, meaning you didn't ask the questions from the client in the beginning, okay? Knowing there's an underlying medical or financial or background issue, but you don't disclose it, okay? Maybe it's their health, maybe it's their criminal record, maybe it's something else in their lifestyle that an underwriter would want to know to choose them to be a customer. But we're leaving it off because we're very good. Salespeople are very good at speaking half-truths. They don't lie, but they don't tell you the full truth. Downlines do this. Salespeople do this. It's common in our industry. And just because you didn't lie didn't mean you told the truth. You could not lie but mislead the truth at the same time. And it's very easy to see it, and salespeople are very good at it. And so you have to make sure that you give all information to an underwriter in good faith. Remember, it's in good faith so that you have a good client long term, okay? No contact with the client after writing an app. Salespeople sometimes are not very good at servicing. They're good at closing. And so we sell something, but we don't contact and communicate with somebody. Earlier, Marcella said if you take $200 from somebody in an NAA, you should give something of value in return because they gave you money. Yeah. If people gave you their personal information, but we don't give them phone calls along the way, they're wondering what the heck happened. Is there still a policy out there? And by the way, we've all made these mistakes. I've made these mistakes. I'm just saying that we need to shore them up. Paying the client's premium, okay? We never pay for a client, and we never give somebody money for giving us a referral. That's called paying under the table, okay? When people sever a relationship with you later, and people do, and people will, the first thing they're going to talk about is everything wrong that you did in closed doors that you thought was hidden secret, but it's not a secret. When you're a chairman or you're a hierarchy head, we see all the complaints of our ex-associates and our ex-clients. And we get to see these colorful descriptions of activities that they participated in with their upline, that when they thought their upline and them were cool, they did something. But then when it severs, people like to throw people under the what? Bus. Under the bus. So make sure to never give somebody saying something about you right here. Paying the client's premium is a really big deal. Now, take a deep breath. We're only 2 in. There's 8 more, okay? There's 8 more, all right? There's 8 more. Next one, okay? Openly unaligned with your upline leadership. Listen, none of this is legal, okay? And none of this is going to cause, you could be openly unaligned with your leadership if you want to be. But I just want you to know that it'll set you back several years of your senior promotions. It'll set you back with your teammates following you. Yep. Your teammates are going to end up following other people. Yep. They're going to end up in other base shops. And this one, it's okay to have frustration with your upline. You're human, okay? It's okay, like in the 5 dysfunctions of a team, they talk about it's okay to have conflict. Conflict is inevitable, but dysfunction doesn't have to be inevitable. Yeah. Okay, conflict is going to happen. All of you are going to have conflict. Everybody in this room is going to have conflict with your upline. Okay, I've never seen somebody go 10 years and not have conflict with your upline. That's not the problem. It's the way you behave during the conflict that becomes the problem. Okay, and so if you misbehave publicly and people are like, oh, they're seeing rifts, you remember if your mom and dad fought. You remember with the problems at Thanksgiving and Christmas with your family. You remember when they behaved improperly in front of the children. Adults should sort their issues out privately, okay? We are all adults. We call our non-MDs kids sometimes, and you act like it a lot of times, okay? But you are not children. You are adults. None of us are children. We're adults, and we could all act like it, okay? So make sure that you watch the alignment publicly, and those are in all of your offices. So if you're in Dallas, the way that you behave in the office towards the leadership of the office is important, okay? If you're in Arlington, the way you behave with the leadership of the upline's important. We saw funny things at the Arlington grand opening with a microphone on stage with Mike, okay? And I was like, why is that person touching the microphone and not Mike? You know? And by the way, this isn't it doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter. It's behaviors that are done publicly. Publicly, it's you respect the position more than you respect the person. You don't have to like the person, but you better respect the position. All right? And if you're a leaseholder of an office and God's put you in my care or my watch, I didn't make you stay on this team. Leave the team if you don't like me. You know, go do something else if you don't like it. But otherwise, respect the position so I don't have to keep solving problems underneath you. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? This goes for everybody. This is everybody. This is FAs, MDs, seniors, VPs, chairmen, and all the way up. Okay? Number 4, fighting in front of the team. Okay? Fighting in front of the team. Listen. If you're a couple, you've probably made the mistake with letting an argument slip into the downline, okay? It's okay. Not like it's okay, like keep doing it. It's okay if you slipped. And if you're single, you've probably had an argument with yourself, okay? And that spilled into a lot of other people. Yeah. When you're single, you're more frustrated. Why? You're unmarried. You're an unmarried person. You've yet to be taken, okay? There's some issues there. All right? I understand it. It's like, and if you're listening to me and you're like, no, it's my choice. Kind of. I would say you're still incomplete. I am going to say that. Listen, I don't care if people go, what is the message? You need to be married? No, eventually, that's the way to joy. That's the way to joy. I am a fan of being married. So I don't mind saying those things, and I don't care if people don't like it. I'm not the one living your life, okay? I'm happy. And I'm going to keep telling people the way to getting to happiness and joy is through Jesus and getting married and starting a family and running your business. I'm going to keep saying it forever until people do it or quit me. Okay, I'm not going to like lower it and go, well, I don't want to offend that. Nah, screw that shit. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. And I'm going to be judged for that word that I just said too, okay? But fighting in front of the team, that could be dissension with a sideline. That could be dissension with a downline. That could be dissension with an upline. That could be dissension with your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, or anybody else. And so, but I reference it in the couples relationship because couples fight the most, okay? But they make the most money. Did you see the 2-minute couples? Yeah. The 2-minute speakers? You could call them the 2-minute couples. None of them are single. Okay? All 4 of them, couples. All right? There's a reason for that. Because you have to watch the energy. When you have frustrating feelings and you're single, you feel like you're hidden. You feel like you could do things in the dark. You think you could do things in secret. But actually, that stuff all comes out. And you're the last one that finds out that everybody else knows. There are people in this room that think your crap is a secret. Like we're not Jedis. Like you don't wear it on your face. Like you can't tell. You could tell. Remember, if you're not married, you don't have somebody telling you, check your face. You don't have somebody telling you, check your behavior, because you're single. So you're just running around and you think you're cool, and you think you're smooth, and you think you got it, but you don't, okay? You don't. I promise you don't. Now, whether husband or wife or while handling disagreements with a team, this could be with a client. This could be with a client. You could be on the phone with a prospect and have a fight with a prospect. There's a lot of things that could happen, but our behaviors in offices are very much watched. People are watching. Even Henry looked through the crack of my office when Mike was edifying me, and I know where the crack is in there because it's how I look at you guys while I'm in there, okay? And I'm looking through, and Mike's edifying me, and Henry turns around to see me, and Henry looks through the crack. And I'm looking at Henry, and I put my hand up, and he says, what's up? He's still seeing me even when I think I'm a secret, okay? Just letting you guys know this. Just letting you guys know this. Number 5, okay? Number 5, right? And I know all of this stuff, okay? And I know all this stuff. And I know how to see you when you don't think you're being seen, all right? That's my job. I am a hawk for every definition of it. So if you're like, I wonder if coach, he will.
Yeah.
I wonder if he does. I wonder if he is. I just want you to know I am. I'm watching you legally. I look up your license. I look up your criminal record. I call your clients. I call your spouse. I call your ex-teammates that quit. Yeah. And I say, so what happened? Da 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 da. Interesting. All right, cool. And they say everything. And you think it's like, oh no, I got him out of here. Cool, it's over. No. Nope. No, it's not. So if you walk by me and you're like, I feel negative energy with me, it's because it's real. I have that energy towards you. I know things about what you're doing and I'm waiting for you to come admit it. Yep. Okay? Or clean it up. Yep. But you're still running in the dark in secret. Okay? You're in the valley, baby. You're in the valley. Not running your first 10 clients by your marketing director. Okay? If you are writing business, if you didn't know this yet, let me be the first to tell you. Okay? When you write business, your first 10 policies, I want you running with your marketing director. Here's my illustration. Here's my recommendations. What do you think? Not after it's written, before it's written. Right. Coach, I'm thinking about writing this business. The client told me this. What I've gathered is this. Here's what I'm thinking of selling. Is this a good idea? Have a second person, a second set of eyes that has more experience than you say, I wouldn't do that. Sell it like this. Because what we like to do, we like to bring in production. And when people bring in big production at the end of the month and the end of a week or the end of closeout, what they're doing is they're banking on the fact that their upline wants those points to show in the system really bad, which their uplines do. I just want you guys to know something. We like our numbers to grow. We like when numbers go way up. And even when we come out of a training like this, the first thing that we hear when somebody says, I wrote 8,000 points, we're like, shut up, yeah. Even Kumar gets excited right here, okay? However, there is a tendency of people that sell the wrong way. When they come in from the shadows and all of a sudden they have production, I don't trust it. Yeah. Yep. I won't accept it, and I've told certain people, by the way, guys, right now, I have emailed this week, home office and our carriers, watch out for these 3 people on EIB. Boom, boom, boom. This is dated, ... I am covering my you-know-what. Yep. When they do something terrible later, this is me absolving myself of liability for their behaviors. They are crooked, they are criminal, they are terrible, watch all their business, and when they quit, I'm not going to be responsible for it. The information's on you. You do what you got to do with it, okay? That's this week. And I'm just letting you know there's nobody in this room that I care about more than I care about this business. Yep. Yeah. I care about my leadership role because people trust me. My marketing directors trust me to watch EIB. Yes. And so they don't want foxes in the hen house. Okay? And we watch it. It's like, oh, they come befriend in people that are on the bottom. By the way, you know what human traffickers do? They look for situations where people are vulnerable, where people are weak. You know what people on the outside that are trying to take advantage of our model, they come in here and they look for vulnerable people. And then they say, hey, I'll be your friend. I'll take you to coffee. Let's go do some business. And they try to do it off the books. They try to do it somewhere else. They say, don't worry about it. Call me. I got you. I'm going to be your friend. And you know what? They sound so charming. They sound so convincing. They have nice shoes, nice bags. They look like they live a nice life, but their life is a disaster. And people that are solid can see right through it, but people that are weak cannot. And so people that are weak get taken advantage of, they get hurt, they get maliciously take advantage. It could be their money, it could be their kids. Hopefully it doesn't go past those things, but a lot of times this stuff goes down really fast. Now you're probably like, man, this isn't a motivational talk. It is not, okay? But it is the thing that's going to come into your business and nab you in the tail. By the way, I'm here to say this. In the next 90 days, there are people on this team that are going to quit, be removed, or be terminated. Watch. Watch. It's going to happen in the next 90 days. You're going to look at GroupMe and see blank removed, blank no longer with us, blank this, because I ain't playing. Yep. I ain't playing. And I just want you to know that if you're a part of anything, if you see anything, if you do anything, and you don't say anything, I'm after you too. Yep. I'll lose anybody in this room because our brand is going to continue on long after you were here, okay? Yep. And just like it did long before you were here. Yep. You understand? So we're going to protect excellence in building way more than we're going to protect you, okay? So I'm watching and I'm doing one of these and I want you to know, like I'm like an alligator in the waters, okay? You catch yourself standing doing the wrong thing, you're going underwater real fast. That was a pretty severe example, Kumar. Not running your first 10 clients, okay? Not going in the field a minimum of 10 times with a trainer before trying to sell by yourself, okay? We know the games of I'm trying to get appointed first. We know the games of like your secret top 25 that we don't know about, okay? We know the games of like I got appointed and all of a sudden there's an uncle or an aunt that's in motion. We know all of this stuff. You are not creative. That aunt did not appear, okay? You are secretly holding that aunt and you thought you were going to go ride it. And not only are you going to ride it and it's not going to place, if it places, it's going to charge back. And your greatest success story is going to be your greatest failure story. Watch. I'm just telling you this. You're better off splitting that business and learning how to do it because your aunt might write the policy with you, but she's not going to keep paying it with you. Okay? It's a difference. And so you don't know this until you've been in the field a lot of times. I'm making my marketing directors a lot of money right now. Yep. Sleeping and partying with the team. These are not sleepovers we're talking about. This is sexual activity with downlines, okay? Listen, I expect those of you that are single to do like you're gonna have relationships. You're gonna pursue people. Those things are great. I hope you find and you meet and you marry I hope a lot of you guys find the person that you're gonna be with for the rest of your life here. Most likely it's not gonna be the first person you talk to or something like that. But when I look at this part right here, sleeping and partying with your team, I'd be very careful who you drink with. I'd be very careful who you use drugs with. Oh, it's just a gummy. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're sloppy. That's why you're still in my net. Okay? No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not doing those things. Have I had a drink? Yeah. Have I had a gummy before? Yeah. Have I had, have I gone out? Have I had parties? Have I dated people before? Yes. Okay? These are mistakes that many leaders have made. And I want you to learn from us. Okay? Nobody's judging anybody. God judges, I correct behavior. Okay? My job is to correct behavior, not to judge, not to punish. I don't judge people on this, but I would be very careful in this area because the relationship that you form with your teammates and with your downlines, they're going to become your worst enemy. It's going to end bad, and everybody's going to throw mud on each other because nobody says at the end of a breakup, okay? We needed to mature, we needed to improve, and I needed to get to be better, and so that's why it didn't work out. Nobody ever says that, okay? They say something terrible about the other person. Yep. Okay? They have to save face because it looks bad. So I don't want to see this type of stuff here. I am not your moral police, and I'm not trying to get involved in your personal lives. I'm trying to have you have a business that thrives and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. When I met Natalie, I said, I'm not after a girlfriend, and I'm not going to play around with you, and I'm not going to be your coach and date you. Okay, I want to get married, and I want to go date to get married, and we work together. I hope to lead you in a biblical fashion, but I'm not playing around. And by the way, when Natalie was in an RI, there's no way I could have been her coach. I told her we can't work together. She said, why? I said, because we're going to be making out in the parking lot within 3 days. Okay, I meant it. The second Natalie walked in, I was like, no way I could work with her. Not happening. I just want you guys to know every part of my high standards was falling apart before my eyes, okay? It was falling apart faster than you could imagine. And you want to know something? I've dated people in the business before. I know what ends up happening, okay? And so I'm like, no. My antennas went up like that. Get away, run. And then she said, do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, no. And then I was like, oh no, okay? I said, do you have a boyfriend? She said no, and I was like, okay, all right, so what's happening here? You know what's happening right here? That is now my wife. If that happens to you, I pray for that to happen to all of you guys that wants to happen to, okay? But on the way there, we're not doing a matchup system with people in the office, okay? That's not what we're doing. Drug or alcohol use with the team or done around the office, okay? There are people that come into the office high, and you don't think I know you're high. You think you're so good. What are you talking about? Like, I wasn't, come on now, man. Like, what are you doing now? And this happens a lot. And it's like, oh, but it's not that big of a deal. No, you might say that to yourself, but you're sloppy. Do that at home if you got to do that. Don't be bringing that stuff in the office. You're not very good. You weren't good before you were sober, okay? You're not going to do it when you're high. It's not going to happen if you're drunk. You're not better drunk. Everybody went to high school with somebody that said something like, dude, no, I drive better when I'm drunk. No! Those are the people that you point to. You know what I'm talking about. You had friends like that. I had friends like that. They're like, no, I drive better. And I'm like, no, you don't. And no, you won't. And I'm not driving in your car. And they're the ones that we talk about that got arrested at 18. Yeah. Person, because I'm a professional. Number 8, abusing authority. When you're the upline or you have the authority to do something, if you're given the stage or if you're given somebody's trainee, man, I respect our marketing director so much because they take people in the field and we trust one another. We trust them with their finances. We trust them with their spouses. You know, I have people like Salim who trust me to give coaching to his wife. That's a big deal, right? That's a big deal. There's people that trust their uncle or aunt's money with me to give them advice. That's a big deal. You guys invite guests to an office and I'm the BOM speaker. That's a big deal. You guys have a new Fast Starts qualifier and I'm in the other room and I'm speaking. That's a big deal. You are trusting me with those people. Oh, that is such a big deal. You put people in PHP University, you're trusting me. That is a big deal. And I'm self-reflecting here, but all the things that you're called to do too, abusing that authority, do never abuse the authority. Letting recognition inflate your ego, it happens. It might happen to you in the future, and it may cause something negative. I'm not going to judge you, just I want to make sure that you prevent that when you're getting recognized, you're not that tight. Okay? And then when you're getting banged on, you're not that bad. Okay? It's like, they're just talking crap right now. I just got to get back on track. Okay, so you're never as bad as you think you are, and you're never as good as you think you are. Okay, and that goes for everybody. Number 9, mismanaging NCLs, national co-leaderships. Okay, when we send people to each other's offices, we're honorable in that process. We're splitting the business. There's a whole checklist on this one. This one probably has to be another training about how do we handle national co-leaderships. But man, is it so important how we respect. I want Dallas office to get a ton of Dallas national co-leaderships. I want Arlington office to get a ton of national co-leaderships to Arlington. I want Plano to get a ton of national co-leaderships. That means people around the country believe and trust us to develop their war markets, essentially, and that's how it works. And so how we manage that relationship has to be with the utmost integrity. And number 10, having bad fiscal habits. Okay, the reason we talk about, I love that Kumar's tithing is 10% right now. Kumar's at $10,000 cash flow by mid-month. You know what I mean? I love that type of stuff. That means he's giving away $1,000. Now, you don't have to give away any of your money. I'm just telling you, God's not going to bless you with any more than he's already given you unless you do good with what you currently have. Yep. Your income is never going to go up because you learn sales skills. Your income is not going to go up. You want a blessed business, not a convincing closing business. Yep. I don't want a convincing closing business. I want to have a blessed business. I want to attract more than I want to hunt. Okay? And so by having good financial habits, by paying your rent in your offices and getting your registrations, that's not because we like hounding you for rent or registrations. I promise you, as annoyed as you are about hearing it, I am about giving it, okay? But I'm not afraid to lead, and I'm not afraid to tell you what you need to hear, and I'm not your mother, and I'm definitely not your girlfriend, okay? So I'm not gonna tell you all the cute things that you wanna hear about yourself. I'm gonna tell you the thing you need to do next. And so that's my job, and I can't wait till somebody replaces me and runs EIB. Okay, I can't wait till somebody says, I'm the alpha, I'm the doctor, I'm this coach, you go do it over here, I'll keep running the hierarchy, let's get it going. You think Patrick's running our company right now? No, he trained people who's running the company that he started. You think I'm gonna run EIB forever? No, the leaders of the team are gonna run the team, but as long as we subscribe not to Jason, but we subscribe to values and principles that are time tested, that predated Jason and everybody else that's gonna be a hierarchy head in our business, then we're gonna be in a really good spot. I hope you don't take any of this as judging, but if you have any shame or guilt that you're feeling in your stomach, that's your behavior, not mine, okay? So just fix it. Don't feel judged. None of us are perfect. We've all made these mistakes, and I know the marketing directors would agree with that as well, that these are time-tested things that you want to make sure that we do. Okay, we got that. Okay, being too frugal, got it. And now we're going to turn it over to a dream selling time. Thank you for allowing me to speak.